Well, thank you everyone for joining me, Don Carson here from up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Um, you know, it's been a pleasure being the master distributor of this new company for over a year now. I say that for over a year because we really launched in August of 2023, but of course there's a lot of planning that went into the whole idea of Collect Direct. The vision of Dave Jordan, CEO, owner out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, formerly out of Grand Forks. His parents and family came from Chicago. There's a whole history of the collectible industry in Dave's life with his dad and in the past having multiple hobby stores and so on. So we made a connection back, he and I, when we first met in another company when he was the CEO of that company, which I ended up being his second executive of the year of, my wife and I, Nancy. And, we had a bond of business because I come from a traditional business background, and the challenges in traditional business are absolutely incredible. And, I experienced two companies during the 4-year shutdown kind of world that we were in. One went one way, one went the other. And I would say that the world has been like that in many, many parts of the aftermath of that, where people are either not able to get out of where they were in terms of their downturn, they threw in the towel, or they didn't course correct. And course correcting is something that I've learned to love saying in my business career because, here it is, 2024, coming to the end of May. And I honestly can say I didn't know what to expect in 2024 in my traditional business. But my wife's traditional business and my traditional business, which is in the retail space, are both up. And yet there was trends saying they should be down. Put your head in the sand, give up. Inflation's here, interest rates are there, and you're not going to be successful. Why do I tell you that? For those of you that maybe watch this recording after, or those of you that are on live with me tonight, you just never know what it is that's going to take you to the next step of success. And I'm not convinced I know what it is, other than I never will quit. I'll never give up, and I'll always have a don't let myself down attitude. I just remember even in my daughter's early volleyball days, looking at her and saying, look in the mirror when she wasn't sure. I said, tell yourself, why not me? And I think that's the biggest thing I can share with all of you tonight in terms of our business together and the message of Robert Wicker passing on this week. This was one of our friends, one of our very close ambassadors of the vision of Collect Direct, very much a part of what I was doing on slides and presentations. Robert was always there in the late of night, early in the morning to offer his support for me, and he will be missed across the Collect Direct world. I want to just shout out to him, to all of you, because Dave loved the man, and his brother Joe loved the man, and it was very much a part of the Collect Direct family. And so to all of you that knew Robert, met Robert, Robert, rest in peace, my friend. Jackie, I know you talk to Robert once a week. And our other good friends on here talk to him a lot. I wanted to mention that in there because you just never know, right? You never know. And in business today, we don't know what could knock you off. We don't know what could change your business from being super successful to being a failure. But what you do know when you look in the mirror is, why not me? What do I got to do to make this work? And that's Dave Jordan to the 9th, 10th, 15th degree. The man is on a mission to prove that back in 1998, when he first thought of the idea of taking the collectible space into the network industry, the network marketing, the home-based network marketing industry, it would be a success. The timing was wrong then. And what did Dave do? He put it on a shelf. He lost some money, course corrected, and waited till he felt the timing was right. And here we are today. So what's happened since the beginning? We've learned an awful lot. And Jackie, I want you to interlude with this because I know you were talking to one of our colleagues here. And no, let's not mention names because I think he's going to want to share it himself one day. But just some key learnings that he recently had about sharing what we're doing and what he felt might be what works differently than he thought. Maybe you can jump in here, Jackie, and add your thoughts to this course correction conversation.
Yeah, thanks so much, Don. And again, I just want to send my condolences for the sad loss of Robert Wicker. He was a phenomenal man, and his legacy will live on through his family and, of course, through all of us, through the memories that we can share when we get together, because he was a life of the party, just wherever he went. So I just did want to put that in there. He's going to be sadly missed, that's for sure. But going forward, we do course correct and things do change. And it's like life and death. Unfortunately, it happens. And the same is with business. So I was speaking to Don earlier, and there's been a lot of time for reflection for all of us. But when we start looking at what we do have, when we speak about what we're getting for hitching our wagon to what Dave is presenting to us. And I think that's what I said to Don, where are we heading? What are we doing? Because the reality being is that for web pages, we look at web pages and what we have with Collect Direct. I personally know I have 2 web pages and they cost $5,000 for, they're pretty good web pages, but they're basics. They're okay. They're probably a bit better than the basics. But I've got some other colleagues here that pay $20,000 for a web page. What's the difference? They have more pages, they have more videos that are available. But when you stop and think, and this is what I was saying to Don earlier, let's look at what you're getting in your value for your commitment with your $9.98. The web page that Dave has put together for us, think about it. I'm not going to put a figure on it. I'll leave that up to Don. But when you start and look at every single item has an individual link that we can share. There are pages and pages and pages on our personal webpage that we get to share, and we potentially get to be rewarded through commissions for our efforts. $9.98. You do have to commit to actually purchasing $30 or $29.98 a month, and that could be a gift. That can be something for yourself that you can add to your collections. So really, essentially, you are investing, or not investing, I can't say that, sorry. You are committing to $9.98 annually, and you get this web page. I couldn't actually, and this is what I said to Don, I think we need to really elaborate on that, what you are getting, because as we do go through this course correction, there are some painful stages with any business, and you do start to doubt it. But go back, have a think about it, and start and add up financially, what has it cost you to commit to come on board with Collect Direct? It's cost me $9.98. Yes, I did buy a sample pack because I chose to do that, my husband and I. We bought 2 or 3. And then we're now choosing to actually stay current members each month and do our minimum of $29.98. We're buying extra items as well, but that's all we have to do. The rest of the outlay that we get to share and we get to experience, to have the ability to showcase what we have in an industry that is going to be, they're projecting to be $1 trillion business by 2033, I believe.
Yeah, within 9 years.
What do we have to do for it? Get excited. Keep reminding yourself that each year you're paying $9.98, and you have got a website that is on steroids. But it's not just Dave's website, it's yours, because you're the CEO of your own business that you get to share with people. So this man is outlaying, I actually really honestly think, Don, if I can see what a $20,000 website looks like, I would think Dave probably has injected up to $100,000 in a website and beyond. And that probably is being very modest.
Let me just touch on that. I know my own personal experiences. I spent $50,000 on my company's website for what we do. And I've now, 2 years later, injected another $10,000 into refacing it to get it a little bit more up to date, because every year things change. Dave, I know has, as in the beginning stages of his Collect Direct journey, spent over $1 million on staffing, on website development, changes that have had to happen, all of the coding, all of the hiring, all the inserting. It's been an amazing investment to say, to your point, Jackie, that $9.98 gets to participate in if I learn how to point, click, and share. Now let's take that to the next level of the philosophy now. A good friend of ours was out sharing postcards at an event and was off trying to give away one of these graded cards. And what we've learned is giving it means nothing to the average person. Because you think about that. If you purchase it, you take ownership in it, and then you take value in it. But if I gave you something, it might sit on your shelf for a month or two before I even realize what it was I gave you. So during the process of learning, he discovered that if he went to the person and described to them the concept, and this is where I want to touch on the big picture of what Collect Direct is doing today. You see, the network marketing industry is ever evolving in a different way today than we many thought. And one of our great colleagues had said once before that in the nutrition space, you know, he used the term "this ain't that," and he was describing how, you know, doing things me too don't work anymore. In other words, changing the label of something that's the same somewhere else, and yet you could buy at a store somewhere else for 50, 60, 100% less. That concept isn't working like it used to. So what Dave realized during this process since last August is eyeballs are the key if we're going to establish a brand. And you see what I'm holding in my hand here, right here, are a number of different Collect Direct brand cards. Wayne Gretzky that I purchased, Cole Pavetti, a hockey player from the Winnipeg Jets, Caitlin Clark, absolute star women's basketball player who just now signed on in the world the Major League Women's Basketball League, Patrick Mahomes. All of these cards here, and when I look at them, you know, the 50-50 club players that have scored 50 goals, Michael Jordan, it's a brand on the top. And what you all have to understand is for people to realize a brand, it takes millions and millions of dollars of advertising. In my traditional space, this last 6 weeks, I've spent more money in advertising for my personal traditional business to drive people to my store than I've done in the last 5 years, and my sales are up. The brand had a jingle that I brought back this year, and that jingle is being in people's heads for years, but when they heard it again, the brand came back and it triggered them to come into the store. Why do I share that? Because just creating a great looking card in a case does not make you a credible brand. Well, what Dave did is he hired a very prominent marketing team to go out and create eyeballs in his collect away company. And I can tell you that it's in the tune of 5 million actual links of folks to those branded messages he's been doing. What is that doing? It's creating the ability for us to have the ability as he launches the next phase for him to say, take a look at my buyers club, Collect Direct. And those cards that are going to be out there, as we get them out there, become more and more an acceptable, credible brand, especially when somebody of Dave Jordan's credibility in the collectible space is saying so. But until he got out there and let everybody see who he is and branded himself all over again, so that the people that knew him from the card shows that said, there's Dave, he's the guy that's this, that, and the other thing, the world now knows who Dave is. If he said Collect Direct before, it would mean the same as it says today. And it's growing more and more. Why do I tell that to you? Because the philosophy of the brand is to share the eyeballs with the Collect Direct world one day when they look at a buyer's club. Now, why do I say that for the third time, buyer's club, for the fourth time? Because that's not the word network marketing. See, network marketing, as much as I love it, as much as I've reached at the time, this third highest position in the company, it's a challenge today. If I lead with network marketing, I want to lead with an opportunity, yes, but I want to lead with a brand, a priced item that I know is fair, and give them a chance to do their own research. That's what we're doing, and that's what you're going to hear more about on Saturday when Dave officially starts talking about the plan. And the plan is not for us to be an affiliate marketing company. Some of you have heard that in various people. The affiliate concept is not what Dave's vision is. His vision is to give opportunity to those that want to go to work and look in the mirror and say, why not me? His vision is to say to those that love this category creating collectible company offering to the world for the first time a buyer's club mentality of buying one of these for, say, $30 and get paid $5 and go find 5 or 6 friends to do the same thing and get yours next month for free as a starting point mentality to the buyer's club. And then after they get into the business, knowing the numbers of the network marketing industry, for every 6 thinking it's cool, 2 like it, and 1 gets involved, you'll find there's an automatic sorting process that goes on through these buyers in the club that say, could I do this and make some money? And they start doing their own research. And before you know it, they're starting to look for the things that we have in the back office, which are the dugout, the bullpen, and the sample collection. So Jackie, as you know, we led with that in our business at the beginning, and we're course correcting to the $29.98 opportunity now for the $5. But in behind all of that is the home-based business opportunity, true in that we've all looked at from the beginning. Remember this, it's a sorting process. As Dave has 5 million eyeballs and soon to be millions more, eventually some of them are going to know what this buyer's club is, and now it's a sorting process. And that's the beginning stages of what you're going to start seeing more and more for the Collect Direct world, a massive opportunity to be a brand ambassador of a card company or other products in the toy box and the other things he's going to bring that allow you to share fair things at a fair price that people we already know are selling for more than they're buying off Collect Direct in many cases, and there's no competition. That's the direction that Collect Direct has chose to go. Lead with a buyer's club mentality and let you do the work as you learn and earn with us. If you want to bring somebody into the 6, 4, that's pretty cool. I like buying, but I don't want to make any money. 2, maybe I'll make some money. Okay, good. I got 6 people. I got a free card. To 1 that says, man, I see that you could buy this package over here and get paid $150. And what am I going to do with that package? Folks, I'm going to take 16 of these, go to a trade show booth, put them across the table with a poster behind me, and I'm going to attract buyers to this buyer's club. And before you know it, I'm going to sort through them again. That's where this is going, from the most smallest example to the big picture, which is, if you want, you can make yourself 100,000 US per week. Never guaranteeing a penny you can make here, but it's possible in this club, leading into the home-based business model, that this business compensation can pay you more than you currently think is possible. But again, I only say that when I say these words. There's no guarantee. And we don't make income claims. We just tell you, look in the mirror and say, why not me? And go learn and earn with us. Jackie, do you want to fill some blanks in on this direction I was going here?
I do, because I've written some notes down, Don, because, there is some frustration there for all of us. Why are we frustrated? Because we're so excited in what we have. When you stop and think why you actually jumped on board with this. But what I do want to relate this back to, South Sydney Rabbitohs, as you know, is the club that David played for. When I did some homework with them and put a presentation together, they have the largest fan base in Australia of any sport. Now, they have a media mogul in there that owns a digital IT company. So the digital space that Dave is creating for us, and I think this is the link that I want to place in there from listening to you. He's set up a business model. Now what he's doing for us with Collect Away, he's actually creating a digital space that is creating this awareness of when fans see something, they want it. Then they go researching to find out how do they get it. But the fact of when you start looking at big successful companies like South Sydney Rabbitohs, they're successful because they have hit the mark in the digital space of the IT. That is where most of their sponsorship comes in from. Their fans know what's going on all the time because they have the digital space of where they're getting information sent to them all the time. They're educated. Dave is educating people through these videos that he's putting on with Collect Away, Don, isn't he? So you can see that. So we're actually getting added value. This man is actually not only promoting and creating an awareness on who he is, but because we've decided to come on board with Collect Direct, which is Dave's company, we actually coming on as an independent representative, that we become the CEO of our own company for $9.98 in this digital world that people are now accustomed to. They're comfortable in it from what we went through 3-4 years ago. we have the world in our hands. We just have to find the excitement again, get rid of the frustration, because that's what happens in businesses. You course correct. And I think with what Dave is doing, or I believe with what he is, he's opening up the eyes of the world for us so that as his brand becomes a home recognized name, it's going to be so much easier for us to take this out there, Don. And that's how I see it from what we're going through.
I agree with you. And I think that's the message I wanted to share tonight to all of you, is that this effort has been never give up attitude, why not me approach. And if my history is anything to share with you, when I started my traditional business that I eventually sold to a company that was trading on the New York Stock Exchange, I started with a little glove, and the glove led to bike shorts that women wore, and suddenly I'm wearing them in the bar. To
what, the women's shorts?
Yeah, they were sweat leotard pants. I was a young lad, but I'm
I
telling you, I
couldn't
was
help
doing
it.
anything in those days. I was single, it was crazy. But I added product after product after product to find the right direction for what I was doing. At 22 years later, I sold that company and then bought two, and then watched what I had to do to make them go in this crazy world. And I believe that's what you're seeing before your very eyes today, folks. And let me remind you that our website will be going through a maintenance, and it's important for you to get your monthly order in. I would suggest tonight, possibly even by noon or thereabouts tomorrow, but hopefully tonight if you haven't yet, because you're going to see our website change and go down a little bit for a standpoint of maintenance, which we're not sure how long, but we believe on Saturday you'll hear about it. And then as early as Monday, June 3rd, it'll go live, and you'll be able to see some of the things we've done different. That's what's exciting. You're going to hear about that Saturday. So I wouldn't miss Saturdays, folks. I would be there if I could for you, and have anybody you've had in the Collectorec world on Saturday Zoom with Dave at 12 noon Central Time. There'll be emails and so on sent out, and a post on our Facebook group. But ladies and gentlemen, nothing in business happened like that. It's always been a learning and earning. And for us right now, I can promise you this. We've learned a lot, and Dave is going to prove it to the world that he's taken this to the top, just as he always said he would. So thank you so much, Jackie, for jumping on. And once again, I know under this last week or so for you, it was definitely something that was maybe a little harder to do. Gail, I see your hand was up there. Gail, if you'd like to come off mute, I'll see if Ben can trigger it for you to come off mute. Go right ahead. You're still being recorded, Gail. So go right ahead, Gail. Not sure if he saw you there or not.
Oh,
there you are. Go ahead, Gail. Yep. You were unmuted. Try it again.
Can.
There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Absolutely.
There aren't any golf categories really. There's only like a few collectibles, it looks like, on there.
Well, there's lots of Tiger Woods. I don't know about
I was looking for Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, yes.
He won the Masters and he just got arrested.
Okay, well, there'd be a good collectible card. Let's see if Dave can get some of those lined up for you. Good ask there, Gail. But there is some golf. There's a number of different categories that.
Oh, there's Tiger Woods and there's Payne Stewart and Ben Hogan and stuff like that. But I was
good and Greg
looking
Norman
for like a category.
Yeah.
There's everything else, but no category for golf.
No, and that's one of the things, Gail, that we've struggled with in our website development over the last year and a half was how many categories could you physically put in one row before it gets too many. And because of the vast variety of collectibles, everything's a collectible. Yeah. You could have the word teacups, and next thing you know, you've got another word for collectible. I know my wife likes hats, as many of you know. So you could have a collection. But Gail, we're looking forward to seeing Dave come out on Saturday and lead to the next phase. I know you've been an ambassador with him and myself for a lot of years, and he's a determined man. I know you know that, and we're gonna take this to the top. And
he accomplishes what he sets out to do. Unfortunately, I'm going to be in Nashville on Saturday.
That's okay. Well, you'll watch the recording. Thanks again, my friend. And remember that Ben's just making the official announcement here. Monthly orders will need to be placed tonight if you will need to place an order to qualify for commission. If you will still need to qualify, we strongly suggest you place your order this evening. Orders placed tomorrow may be refunded. In other words,
I'll do it now.
It is that time where we're going through a bit of a change, and we're watching for some maintenance that we're doing. So just a word of caution to those of you that haven't placed an order. If you'd like to place an order, get it done tonight. Use your credit wallet, whatever. Thanks, Gail. Okay, folks, I think what that probably winds up what I was hoping to get across tonight. Don't miss Saturday. Dave's got some exciting things to share. I hope you got an impression of all of the work that's been going into this. Has been a lot of money spent, and all you've had to really do is spend $9.98 to participate and then get a monthly card like I'm doing, which I'm adding a collection. At the end of my 2 years, I plan on having 24 of these incredible branded cards for my time capsule of being here with Collect Direct. And I can only imagine 10 years from now what those cards in that time capsule case might be worth. Maybe nothing, maybe a ton. Who knows? Thanks for joining me. We'll see you all on Saturday. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.